Hi, I'm Bryn, and today I'm going to teach you about Pear Deck, a technology tool for presentations. In this tutorial, you will learn what Pear Deck is, how to add it to your Google Slides, what it looks like to students, and some pros and cons of Pear Deck. Pear Deck is an add-on to your Google Slides, and it's a way to make your presentations and lessons more interactive and engaging for students using technology. The best way to explain this is to show you. If you haven't added Pear Deck as a Google add-on yet, you would have to go to Get Add-ons, select Pear Deck, and install it into your Google Chrome so that it can work with your Google Slides. I already have it, so I'm just going to go ahead and open it and show you what it's like. When you open Pear Deck, it will show you a toolbar on this right-hand side. So as you're creating your Google Slides, you can add in different questions and engagements that you want to add for your students. Pear Deck does have a template library. I prefer to make mine more custom to my students and the material that we're going over, so I just like to add my own questions into my slides. For example, I can click on adding a draw question. It will let me know that it's being added, and then I can type my question at the top, and students will see this slide and the prompt to respond in the Pear Deck presentation, which we'll go over in a second. An important thing to note is that this gray bar at the bottom is very important. You do not want to delete it. This is how the Pear Deck software gets integrated into the Google Slides software. So you don't want to delete it, and you'll just have this cute little pair reminding you that this is a Pear Deck slide. When students are interacting with this, it's a presentation mode, so you're projecting it on the screen, and students would have some sort of technology device like an iPad or a laptop of some kind that they could follow along with. So in order to begin your presentation, you want to click on Start Lesson in your Google Slides. You want to choose Instructor Paced Activities so you can control how students are moving through the slides as a group. When you press forward, they will all go forward. And for students, they go to joinpd.com and they enter in this code. So we have QNEXXH, QNEXXH. Once they open that, it's going to launch them into the presentation and be ready for you to start it. They can answer a quick question saying how they're feeling today or skip it if they want. And then one student is connected. You can see down here that number will go up, and you can wait until you've reached all your students are in the classroom for you to start class. Once that does, you will see your slides that you're projecting, and students will see them on their device as well. When you move forward, they move forward in the slides. And when you get to a Pear Deck slide, students will see the slide as well as an opportunity to answer the question. When they answer, you can click on Show Responses, and you will see students' responses pop up here anonymously. So you're not calling any students out by showing these responses. You're just getting a general sense of what are the different reactions, responses, ideas, or thoughts that students are sharing with you. You can hide them and continue the responses. And students can also do a drawing slide, which I think is pretty fun as a way to engage different kinds of learning and engagement in your presentations. You can see these responses very similarly to how you could see the text ones. When you're done with the presentation, you can end it, and Pear Deck will ask you if you want to save it so that you can look back on students' responses throughout the session, as well as just get general reflections on how it went. So that leads me to talking a little bit about the pros and cons of Pear Deck. The pros are obviously it's a real-time feedback resource, and that there's multiple ways of engaging students. So it's a good tool for differentiation to the different learning styles of your students. But I also think it's a good way to disrupt the traditional way of giving lectures of I'm talking and you're listening, and instead creates a community feel where you're learning from students, you're asking for their expertise, and depending on the questions you ask, you can engage their cultural backgrounds, their diverse perspectives, and any other prior knowledge or expertise that they may have. The cons are that the anonymous responses mean that you don't know who exactly said what. The free version does have more limited features, so you would want to check with your school first to see if they have the premium version for you to access. And then finally, it is mostly for lectures or kind of talking at kind of traditional lessons, but as an educator, you can sort of flip that on its head. So I think it's a con, but with an opportunity to make some changes to really make it the most effective for your students. In that vein, I think that when we think about this technology framework being integrated into our lesson planning, you could try your best, and I think that that can be achieved with Pear Deck, to put this technology into the transforming and interactive quadrant of the PICRAT framework. And I do think it's really good at engaging those understanding and applying skills from Bloom's digital taxonomy. Hopefully this was helpful and gave you some things to think about. Here's some further sources and resources to check out, and I'm also happy to answer any questions. Thank you for your time.